All right, chilly 16 miles today, not in the Dominican Republic. And have you ever heard the statement, you can't be in gratitude and anger at the same time? You can't be thankful and angry at the same time. You can't be thankful and fearful at the same time. So, it's true, neurologically, anatomically. However, let's just do a quick, little self-assessment. How much good does that little bit of little trivia do? How thankful are you? How much gratitude do you have? Do you just walk around feeling like, my gosh, I'm so lucky? And then do you respond with a thought, I just need to be more grateful. I just need to have more gratitude. I'm about to tell you, it's all bullshit. Because everything within our body operates in the same principles as muscles.
Lap 14, 9:59.
And if a muscle is not strengthened, if it's not torn down and broken, it does not get stronger. And this is, if you have any fellow men in your life, you notice that they feel very ungrateful and very bitter and very pissy all the time, myself included. It's because they're expected to be strong without actually being strengthened. So, if you stay tuned to the end of this video, I will tell you a way that you can rewire your brain to feel more gratitude, to feel more full. Okay, so let's break it down. You have two default neurological pathways that are associated with the vagus nerve. And there's a theory called the polyvagal theory, which teaches it as an exhausted system. So, for example, up at the top of the system, you have the ventral vagal response, connected, safe, joyful, happy, planning, good, everything's good. And then, as you have activation of the fight or flight response, then it digresses into the fight or flight response, anger, fear, guarded, anxiety, and then eventually breaks down into the dorsal vagal response. So over this last bit in the Dominican Republic, I've been really diving deeper into the neuroanatomy involved in this concept. And this theory may be a little bit misleading because when it refers to the scale, the spectrum, actually it's referring to two very distinct neuro pathways, two different wires, so to speak. You have the dorsal vagal response and you have the ventral vagal response, where the dorsal vagal nerve back and then the ventral in front. They control two different things. Both are based on survival, perceived survival. So, how does this serve our species? Well, it serves our species by giving us hierarchical thinking, because we would look to our leader in order to then protect us and tell us everything's all right. So that's what the dorsal vagal response is. It's the stay mode. All right, stay here, conserve energy, and what does that look like in everyday life now? It looks like getting fat. It looks like being exhausted. It looks like being hungry, even though you're full. Did you experience this yesterday or Thursday during Thanksgiving? You literally stuff yourself where you're like, I think I'm gonna have some dessert now. Like, I know I did. It's that dorsal vagal response to fatten up, stay where you are, stay mode, dorsal, back. Okay, and this mode is good because for our species, before technology, we'd have to fatten up and then we had to survive the winter. So it's really good. It's a good mode. So those for those of you that are maybe feeling bad about yourself because you're fat and you're lazy and you're exhausted all the time, actually you got an advanced survival mechanism built into you. You actually are very strong. You just don't know it yet. Because your nervous system is wired to that pathway. Stay. Okay, what does this have to do with gratitude? Well, the gratitude centers of our brain are the substantia nigra and the prefrontal cortex. Again, think too, challenge makes it stronger. Not challenge makes it weaker. My friend Randy just ran a marathon. Got a 4:21 pace. But she probably learned, like I did early on, is that after you run a marathon, you need to take 2 weeks off to recover from it. But when you do that, you actually lose all progress. There's no data saying that you need to take 2 weeks off after a marathon. It's just what people say, and then we do it. But if you do not, even if your body is used to running 26 miles, you take a week, 2 weeks off, that system becomes atrophied. Okay, so the substantia nigra is what produces dopamine. That's what gives us thankfulness, gratefulness. The prefrontal cortex then also associates it with things in our lives by retrieving memories. You notice how there's like very distinct two types of people. There's the people that have the reason why everything is bad, and they'll blame their parents, their situation, their economy, their president. And then there's another group of people that have the same reasons, but they're like, that's the reason why I excelled. It's because of that prefrontal cortex developing sequential planning and activating memories accurately. So, prefrontal cortex, when it's engaged, is stimulated or activated by the ventral vagal nervous system, which then produces feelings of fullness. Meaning, I'm physically full right now, I don't need to eat more food. I feel satisfied right now, I don't need to rely on drugs or alcohol. I feel connected right now, I don't need to pay someone to be my friend, aka counseling. And people defend all these things, these tools, and they're 100% right. Because your nervous system is wired to be in stay mode, and all those things help you stay just the way you are. But if you want to experience fullness and gratitude, not just when things are good, but when things are awful, and then what needs to happen is you need to get the ventral vagal nervous system online, and you rewire your neuroanatomy, because it's a hardware issue that's complicated by a software issue. So BS, bad software, bullshit belief systems trigger which nerve you're going to engage. And then there's a vicious cycle that they're built on, right? So here's the cool thing, the really kind of amazing, get pumped up, could it really be this easy thing, is that the dorsal vagal nerve, stay mode nerve, is slow. It's DSL. It sends slow signals from your brain to your body, body back to your brain, which makes it slow and steady, constant. The ventral vagal nerve, the play mode, or feel thankful mode, grateful mode, go mode, connected mode, safe mode, joy mode, happy mode, productive mode, getting shit done mode, God, that was lucky mode. It's fiber optic. It's faster at functioning, meaning no matter how much bad you got going on, if you can engage the ventral vagal nerve, it is faster at correcting it and starting to strengthen the substantia nigra. So, I promise if you stayed all the way to the end, I would give you an exercise
Lap
that you can
15,
do
932.
right now in order to strengthen the part of your brain that produces feelings of being great, feelings of being full, feelings of being thankful. Are you ready for it? If you're in Washington right now, get down to your shorts and go stand outside. For as long as you can tolerate it. Until it hurts and sucks. And then going back inside to warm back up. I promise you, you'll immediately feel thankful. And it's not just because, God, that sucked. It's because by experiencing changes in temperature, activates the ventral vagal nervous system. You want to take a little farther, go for a little walk, getting in shorts. People ask me why I always run without my shirt on. It's because I like to brag about my six-pack. Of course. Make the world a better place. But the second reason is because the more uncomfortable it is, the more you activate the vagus nerve in order to activate dopamine centers in the brain. You're like, I'm not gonna go outside in my shorts. All you gotta do, get in the shower, turn it on cold, do it for a short period of time. Notice what happens in that moment. Notice how at first it'll take your breath away, and then all of a sudden you'll be able to breathe deeper. And it's not a mind game. It's rewiring neuroanatomy. And this is what people say sometimes. Often, always. I tried that for a bit, it worked for a bit, and then didn't stop working. Again, it's a system that needs to be constantly strengthened. If you aren't challenging it, doing the next thing, that's a little bit harder, a little bit longer, then it begins to atrophy. And then what happens is our software, our BS of, I tried that, didn't work, takes back over, which infects your hardware of engaging the dorsal vagal response, of being fat, conserving energy, being lazy, conserving energy, and being sad, conserving energy. So, I'm gonna get to the top of this hill, and then I'm gonna crank out a fast mile to finish this bad boy off. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Comment below if you actually did the thing and how it felt afterwards immediately. Because words without action are just lies to ourselves, aren't they?